I figured I'd record a sit-down video this time, or just talk, because I have the house where there's no one here, and I could just talk without feeling embarrassed. Okay. So, my last day of school and last day of being outside without the restrictions was March 13th. I was supposed to go, that was Thursday by the way. I was supposed to go to school on March 13th, but March 12th, 11th, and 10th, I didn't feel well. 10th, I was fine, but I was just jittery because I had coffee that day. And then we had practice outside because I play lacrosse. And so that practice was outside, and it was warm. It was one of the first really warm days that we had in New York since winter started. It wasn't spring yet, I think. Yeah, it wasn't spring yet. So that was the first warm day that we had, and obviously I was gonna wear shorts and short sleeves because we run around and we do laps and we play intensely. So I decided to wear shorts and wear a short sleeve and go outside and run around. So it was warm. And then the next day, it was drizzling, a little wet, not big in the beginning. And then, so I would decide again to wear shorts and to wear a short, I think I had a sweater on. I don't remember for what I had on, but I know I for sure had shorts on, because, yeah. So we run around in the rain and everything. I'm sweating, it's hot, but I'm still cold. We get hot at the same time because it's raining, and we're getting wet. But I didn't care, and I was already starting not to feel well and everything. Everything was I was just so tired, and my body was aching, and I was so tired that I was still giving it my all during practice, because that's just how I am. But it wasn't my all as in 100% how I would. I had to be told things a couple times more. I had but I was sick, so I'm not the best person when I'm sick. So I just kept my mouth shut, did what I had to do, and yeah, I went through practice a good 1 hour, 2 hours. Keep in mind, it's still kind of raining. And I go home, and I get home late, so I didn't really get a lot of sleep. And you're supposed to sleep if you feel like you're getting sick, because that helps your immune system. And I didn't really get a lot of sleep because I wake up early. I wake up around 6 a.m. every morning. I walk 4 blocks to the bus, and I wait for the bus in the cold or rain. I forget what the temperature was that day, but I know I was cold because, again, I was getting sick. I was cold and I was hot because I always run hot. So when I run hot, I'm always sweating and everything, or I'm always hot in general. So I leave my jacket open. So it's weird for me to be cold sometimes, unless it's in my hands or my fingers, because those get cold really easily. But in general, I run hot. So it's very weird for me to have my jacket closed, or to not have a window open, or to not have some piece of skin showing. So I just felt very my face wasn't it. I got on the bus. I kind of I sit there near the window whenever I get on the bus. So I kind of put my head near the window like I usually do. And I was so close to falling asleep, I couldn't stay up. My eyes were closing, and I was just trying to breathe and get the breeze and everything. So then I get to school, and I have first period, and that's AP US. And that's a pretty lively class. So usually I'm pretty bubbly, saying something, raising my hand and everything. I was still talking, But it was just like very like, and like putting my head down or against the wall. And like even my teacher noticed. He was like, Olivia, you don't look so well. And I was just like, yeah, I think I'm getting sick. Because like I wasn't like, I didn't have a fever. I barely had a cough. Like it was like a couple and it was just like it was just stuffy nose. Not like the body wasn't feeling well. So like it was just that. But very spirit, he was like, you should not come to school tomorrow if you're sick. This is like the perfect time with everything going on in the world. Because then it was just like the numbers were rising in New York, but it wasn't that drastic where they had to close school. But people were still keeping their kids home. So he was like, it's the perfect excuse. They're not going to mark you absent. You'll be excused. And I was like, I said I can't because I can't miss school. Because whenever I miss school, I always get like zeros in a certain class, or I miss important information, and the AP tests were coming up soon, and I already missed so many days. And I was like, I can't. And he was like, no, like you should, like you don't look so well, you don't look so hot, and you're not the type of person to miss school. Like days I do have that are missing are like days where I had my orthodontist appointment, I finally got my braces off, but I didn't miss the entire day. I missed 1 or 2 classes. Or when I went on school trips and they were overnight. Or when I went to school trips and they were during the day. Those kind. But they still count as absences, and one of my teachers still affected my grade. So I didn't want to go home. And then also we had a game that Monday coming up. And I didn't want to miss, like, practice if we were practicing and that was, like, the only day I was going to be, if that was going to be like the only practice we had before actually playing our first game and everything. So like, and I wanted to do right because around this time, because my season's canceled now, but around this time I really want to switch my position and play attack. I play defense. Just watch Teen Wolf if you don't get it, or like search it up. But attack is like you attack the goal. So yeah. So I wanted to do that. So I didn't want to give a bad impression if I didn't go to practice and everything. Especially when I was sick, I didn't really give it my all during those practices. So like those 2 days, Thursday and Friday, were going to be my last chance to like prove it and everything. Like he should put me in. He should see my hard work and everything and all that. And like, yeah. So I continue with my day. It's just like I'm not okay. Because like I'm not raising my hand as much. I'm not talking as much. But I was sniffing a lot of Vicks. That's my thing. I sniff a lot of Vicks and I put it here because I can't breathe. And like breathing through your mouth is just it's not as easy as with your nose. After that I had gym. I don't even think, for gym we went outside again because they wanted us to go outside because of the coronavirus. Because they were like, it's less likely to spread and everything, and safer for kids if you guys go outside for gym and everything and not stay in the congested gym. So we went outside, and keep in mind, it was still like kind of rainy and cold. So I had my jacket, I put my hood up, and I just bundled up, and like I kind of curled up in a ball on the field. And then, okay, I got kind of bored, feeling sick, so I was like, let me just talk with my friend. And so we talked until it was time to go inside. Then I went to bio, and that's a double period because it's an AP class. And like, I'm already never having it in that class. Like, I don't want to be there because it's kind of boring, and you just sit there and he talks, or you sit there and read an article. And then I went to English. And again, I just did what I had to do. I sat there. And then, so I had this class called One Goal. And I don't usually talk in that class. That's like the one class that's one of the 3 classes I don't talk in. So everybody was like, you don't look so good. Are you okay? Like, just put your head down. Like, you shouldn't come to school. You don't feel well. And then one of my teachers gave me, like, they offered me tea, but I hate tea. So I got just hot water and like held it near my nose so the steam could like go up my nose and everything, and the hot water could go in my throat and everything and soothe it. And then that's like when I decided, I was just like, I am sick. Like, I'm not gonna deny it. I'm not getting sick. I am sick. And then I went to my Spanish class and I just sat there, and then she had said we had a test the next day, and I was like, I know for sure I'm not gonna be able to sit through a test and focus when I'm sick, because the last time that happened, when I came to school and I didn't feel well and we had a test, I didn't remember any ounce of Spanish, and I just wanted to get it over with because I wanted to put my head down. And yeah, so like, damn, I really have to take this test. I was like, that's a benefit if I stay home. But I was like, oh, she's gonna complain because she doesn't like it when kids don't come to school because they have a test and everything. But I was like, I'm not that type of person, and she knows that, so hopefully she'll understand. And then so after that, I went to my Algebra 2 class, and that class is kind of different because the teacher's kind of different. Like, he's not the normal kind of teacher. Like, he's not gonna coddle you, like he's not gonna baby you. But next to me, the window was open, and I had like a killer headache. I was hot and cold all day, but like at this point, I was just like chills, like the sweating chills. I was like, no, like I really can't have this window open. And like, he wasn't talking, he wasn't giving a lesson or anything. So I raised my hand, like, not to say anything, just like, can I close it? Like, no words, like, and then he yelled at me, and I was like, okay, like, I get you didn't want me to talk to you during that point, but, like, there was no need to yell. Like, you could see in my face, I don't feel well and everything, and so, like, I kind of cried. Like, not cried as in, like, I cried as in, like, tears were just slowly running down my face because everything was achy and my head hurt, and like that was just like a breaking point where I was just like, I don't want to be here. I know you don't want to be here. Can we just, like, I just wanted to close the window, and the homeboy just started yelling at me, and I was just like, I didn't even say a word. I was like, and so yeah. That was the school day, and then after school, usually, because there are 9 periods in a day, and I have 1 through 8. So I was going to sit in the office, the sports office, and wait for practice to start. But then, like, after the whole crying thing and my head hurting, I stood outside the office while my friend went in, and I was just like, in my head, I was like, I really don't feel well. What's the point of going to practice when we have a game on Monday where I could use this day to get better and feel better and everything and drink all these home remedies my mom has? So I stood outside and I waited and looked for my coach to tell him, like, wasn't going to come. But then, like, I just couldn't wait any longer. Like, because I live far. I live an hour and a half away, so it's a 3 hours of my day, or sometimes even 4 hours of my day, spent outside waiting for the bus, taking trains, taking buses, transferring, walking. So I was like, if I wait any longer, I'm going to get home at, like, 5, because it's already, whenever I get, like, it's just, I always get home late. Like, it's never 3, even though I finish a little bit earlier, it's never 3, it's never 2, like, ooh, I would love 2:30. 2:30 would be amazing, but that's never going to happen. It's always, like, 4, 4:30, 5. Like, those are the times if I'm lucky, or sometimes even 6. So I was like, okay. So I sat there, just, like, laying my head on the wall, like, still a little bit, like, teary and everything, and, like, face kind of puffy and red, and my nose, like, I couldn't breathe, so I was like, so I was like, all right. I told my friend, I said, I'm not staying. I'm going. And I was walking out, and everybody who saw me that was like, who knew I was like sick that throughout the day was like, yeah, you should go home. You're not going to practice. Like, leave and everything. And I told my friend to tell him that I wasn't coming and everything. So I can take 2 different ways, and they're both the same amount of time, but like one's more walking or one's less walking. So I went the one that was less walking but more transferring and waiting, because I knew there was no food at home, and my mom was at work, and my sister, I don't know where she was. Oh, she was at work too. And I knew I wasn't going to cook because I didn't feel well. So I bought some sushi. I bought 2 rolls, spicy shrimp and California. And I bought chicken teriyaki. And I said, that's what I'm eating. And usually I would eat on the bus because, again, it's a while. So I was like, let me just eat. Let me just wait and eat until I get home. So I'm on the bus. I wait for the bus. And the bus finally comes. And I sit down. And I just wait. And then I finally get to where I transfer. Because first I get the train at the train station to get to the bus stop, and then I transfer to the bus, and then I transfer to the other bus that takes me home. So I got on that bus that takes me home, and still cried because, like, that's the only thing I could do, because everything just hurt. My head hurt. Like, I'm not the type of person to get a migraine or to complain about my head hurting, but my head hurt. And my body was aching, and again, I live so far away, like not drastically far where like people who live in Staten Island or Long Island, but like far where it's an inconvenience sometimes, especially if you want to get home and you're sick, or if you're injured and everything. So yeah, that's what I did. I cried. It's not like I started sobbing. It's just like tears start running down my eyes, and it's just like, yeah, like it's involuntary. So then I get home and I run the bath right away. I put Epsom salt, I put lavender, and I get some Emergen-C, which is like filled with vitamin C and everything. And I run the water, I put my food on the side, and I sit in the bath and I eat my food, like some of my food. And then I went to sleep and I told my mom I'm not going to school the next day. I woke up in the middle of the night, emailed my teachers for her, saying I wouldn't be able to come to school because I was sick. Please don't hold this against me. And then I went to sleep, and then the next day I got texts from my friends because we're in a group chat, and they were emptying out their lockers because they didn't know if we were going to have school on Monday. And I was like, damn, that would have been a good idea if I had known. But like in my head, I was just saying, all right, I'll get it on Monday for our game. So I left my stuff there. And I'm not the type of person to take my stick home every single day, so I left my stick there too. So, yeah, that was my last day of in school before quarantine, seeing my friends, seeing my teachers normally. And then on Sunday, when I was feeling better, ready to go back to school, I got the notification that school was closed and would only be open for to-go meals, so I wouldn't even be able to get my stuff, and I wouldn't be able to see my friends. And the last time I saw my friends was the 13th. Actually, it was I said the 12th. I mean the 12th, not the 13th. The last time I saw my friends was the 12th. So yeah. If you stayed till the end of the video, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and yeah, have a nice day. Okay, bye.